Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of RedoQ Unplugged. Today, we have Michael Garcia with us, who is the CEO of Unbound IT.
Thank you for having me, by the way. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. It's a pleasure for us.
Yeah, it's great to be here. Thank you.
The first question I want to ask is that, everyone knows the name Michael. Like RedoQ has this name buzzing, Michael, but nobody really knows who the person is. So what I want to ask you is, who is Michael?
That's a question. I don't know if we have enough time to dive into all the intricacies of myself, but pretty much I'm a local resident of San Antonio, Texas. I just have a love for technology and innovation and helping people. In my previous career, I had a couple of roles in a number of different tech companies, and so I realized early on that there were a lot of things that didn't really align with my principles, my values, and how I would see myself running things. And so for well over a dozen years, I worked for a number of different IT companies. And so I think in the short term, Debo, I have that passion for helping people, really is the root of all this. And so when I initially started my company, one of the things that I asked myself is, what can I do that will help people and also provide a living for myself? And then in the future, provide a living for many other people as well. And so that was leveraging my skills that I had learned over the past 12 years in tech, doing my own thing and starting my own company. So
that's really cool.
Oh, I appreciate that.
Okay, Unbound IT. If I may ask, what's the story behind the name?
Yeah, no, so I appreciate you asking. Sometimes people ask that question. So Unbound, the last place I was at, the owner of the company and myself, we didn't really see eye to eye. He wanted to run his business the way he thought, and I wanted to come in and kind of, propose how to run it. So naturally there was some disagreement, right? And so the day came where he was like, hey, I don't know if this is working or not, and so I don't want to hold you back, right? And I said, I appreciate that because you kind of are. And so I became unbound. It was kind of a moment where I was no longer held back by someone else's ideas or someone else's ways of the way that they were doing things.
Right.
I decided to kind of take my own destiny in my own hands. And so I was unbound from the chains of other people that wanted to kind of keep me from moving forward.
I must say that it was pretty noble of him to even realize that he had some shortcoming in the first place.
I don't blame him, right?
Yeah.
People, you're going to be in your own mindset, especially when you run your own company. I'm in the driver's seat now, right? And so it feels great. It's very rewarding, very freeing. I get to do things like this, where I can come have, across the world and have conversations with yourself and everybody on the team here. So it's been very, very rewarding and
to
good
have
experience.
Control of your own narrative.
Yeah.
This naturally brings us to the next question: is that how did the partnership with RedoQ happen?
I was in a position where I needed technical expertise, and so I've developed other partnerships, and the partnership with RedoQ, I feel, has become more special. It came about just actually communicating with people. I always tell people that your ability to be able to communicate is really going to set you apart from others. And so the relationship with RedoQ was just that, right? Coming across a previous colleague of mine who is now my business associate, my business partner, who was in contact with someone else, right? It was communication, relationships, and then networking. Those three things, I think, really are what brought me to meeting all of you here at RedoQ. And so it's been a great experience. I'm looking forward to growing with RedoQ, growing with all of you. And so, yeah, that's how that came about.
So how are you finding Calcutta so far?
Calcutta is a very interesting city. I was telling other people when I was coming up to the elevators, I had gone to Mexico City
Right.
in November, and I was convinced that those were the best drivers. But then I came to Calcutta, and I was like, oh my God, this is absolutely crazy. So yeah, I can never drive in the city for sure.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's been great. I'm a big history nerd, big history buff.
Right.
So anytime I go to a new country or I visit a new place, I always want to interact with the locals. I want to find out more about the cultures, about the history of where I'm at. So yeah, it's been very enjoyable. Today I visited the Victoria Memorial, which was very, very impressive.
It was
Yeah.
beautiful architecture.
Very beautiful. Yeah. So that's another thing I've enjoyed about Calcutta. We went out to dinner last night, and people were pointing out, oh, that building's been here since the 1800s, right? That building's over 100 years old. This restaurant has been in business for 70 years, right? And so it's a very cool experience to come across that. Like I said,
it is for sure.
Yeah, I'm a big history nerd.
So venturing into a slightly different topic right now.
Sure.
Actually, I wouldn't even say exciting, more like interesting time for India and US collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in light of the current events, so the thing is that, like, as of now, in tech space, software industry is sort of exempt from the tariffs. So what do you think, if that exemption were to change, how do you think it would impact the current collaborations that are currently in place? Like, how would it affect the vendors or the clients?
Yeah, no, so I mean, it would, if that were to change and tariffs were to be put on software, I imagine it would be the same as you see tariffs on other goods that are coming through, right? The one positive thing of that is that the United States and India have a fairly good relationship.
Yes.
Right? And so that's very good for us. So we anticipate that that's going to continue. At least I do. I anticipate that will continue. And it definitely seems that way as well. I keep up with what's going on in politics and world governments and things of that nature, because it can trickle down and it can have an impact on your business.
I mean, it's bound to.
Absolutely. Anyone who has a product that was being shipped from China, for example, they've experienced, a lot of companies have experienced some hardships in figuring out how they're going to keep their tariffs down. Some businesses have even gone out of business already. So the great thing about software, though, is that we can work from anywhere in the world.
Yes.
Right? I often joke with clients or potential clients, and they say, where do you office out of? And usually I carry my backpack and my laptop in my bag, and I'll tap it on the back and I'll say, my office is right here. I can go anywhere I want.
Hey, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of progress, there's a mass integration of AI by all business leaders, almost all business leaders. And those who haven't, they're also gearing up for it.
Sure.
And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, so I feel very strongly about AI. I think it's a tool. I think anyone who is afraid of AI and thinks it's going to turn into Skynet from the Terminator or, iRobot or anything else that Hollywood has portrayed is, you're buying into the science fiction of things, right? It doesn't have to be all bad, and it won't be, right? Technology has always been the direct result of the user that is behind it, right?
I agree.
So if you have bad intentions and you create a technology for bad actors or for bad things, that's what it's going to do. That's what it's going to produce. Now, if we want to talk about, what is it, Gen AI, right? Where it's getting more into the point of being true artificial intelligence, being sentient. I don't know how far we are to that. I don't know. I think the hardware still has a lot to catch up before we even get something close to that. As of right now, I feel like every business should be embracing AI, figuring out how to incorporate it into their business, whether it be just using it for graphic design or using it for, generating content, to actual integrations and leveraging it for automation. These are all things that I think would really benefit, especially small businesses. So I say to people, embrace AI. Don't be afraid of it. If you don't embrace it, you very well could fall behind. So just take it as it is and move forward with it.
So we are very close to wrapping up at this point.
Okay.
And I just want to ask you, like, what are your goals and aspirations at this point in your career?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So for sure, to grow Unbound IT is one of the top priorities that I have. In my hometown of San Antonio, down in Texas, there was a company that really had a big presence in the city. San Antonio is not a tech city, unfortunately. Whereas you go up the road to Austin, you can throw a rock and you'll find someone that works in tech, right?
Right.
San Antonio is very different. And so, like I mentioned earlier, when I started my company, I figured, what can I do that can help my local community? What can I do that can help people, that can provide jobs, high-paying jobs for people? And it's technology. It was something in technology. And so I really feel like I want to grow Unbound IT to a enterprise level size company where, it's essentially a household name, right? I also have another application that is, it's currently on the marketplace right now, but we're looking to refine it, make it better, make it accessible to everyone across the country in the United States to begin with. It's called Pair. So I'm partnered with another business partner on that. And so a goal of mine is to really launch that and get, anywhere between 100 to 100,000 to a million users on that platform. I think that'd be extremely successful if we could do that.
For all new and upcoming, aspiring entrepreneurs and those who want to create a startup and they want to go global, like, would you have any advice for them?
Yeah, I would say, again, the main things that I can definitely recommend to anyone who wants to jump into being an entrepreneur or start their own business is develop your communication skills. Be able to communicate effectively what you're trying to do and what you're looking for. Develop relationships. No one wins alone, right? So if you have this mentality of, I can do everything myself, no, you can't. You absolutely cannot. Find people who want to work with you. Find people who enjoy working with you, who you enjoy working with. That's the beautiful thing about being your own, having your own company and being your own boss, right? Is that you can choose who you do business with. You don't have to, be in a position where you regret waking up every morning or you loathe waking up every morning. So, and then the third thing would be networking. Network. Your network is your net worth, as the saying goes, right? So, meet people. The key to everything, no matter what anyone tells you, is people, right? People are the most important aspect of your business. Yeah. So be likable, be kind to people, right? At the same time, know when you may be being taken advantage of, right? Don't let yourself be taken advantage of, and enjoy it. It's very free and it's very rewarding. Will it be easy? Absolutely not. It won't. There will be nights where you think to yourself, what have I done? Should I just go and apply for a job? Should I go back to doing what I was doing before? But in those moments are the moments that you really have to power through. And when you do, it'll be worth it. Guaranteed.
Well, it was really glad having you with us, and it was so insightful, and I personally had a great time having a conversation with you.
Likewise. Thank you.
And it was really lovely having you with us, Michael, and I'll see you all on the next episode.